Hello, everyone, and welcome to Around South Jersey. And if this isn't one of the best shows you'll ever watch, I don't know what will be, because I have two of the most talented, entertaining car people in the world.
I don't know about entertaining, but we're going to have a line.
Ivan Nelson, here to my left, who's General Manager of Lilliston Ford in Vineland. And to my right is the master salesperson, the best, with the best and got the great personality and still looks like he's 45, is Angelo DeRose, who I've had his son on with me.
Yes, he did.
Is he still doing solar?
Oh, he's everything. He's doing everything
Oh,
now.
that's super.
Yeah,
That's great.
he's doing well.
Well, Angelo and Ivan and I got to know each other over at Novick.
Yeah,
How many years ago was that?
A lifetime ago.
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't.
Absolutely. How long? 70.
Oh, it was the early 80s.
80s.
Yeah, it's 40 years almost, right?
I got to believe we were one of the first group of guys that started doing commercials with you.
Well, you were, and it was interesting because you guys, let me tell you, folks, honestly, they're not only great car dealers, but they've got great senses of humor. And we had the most fun of doing automobile car shows. Back in the 80s, we would do a car show at Novick, for instance. They would be on, we'd shoot it during the week. They would be on Thursday evening, Friday evening, from Friday, like say 6 o'clock, right through until Saturday early afternoon. And tell everybody how many cars, because of your talent, you guys would sell.
Well, it was probably more like your audience that we reached. Right time, the right message. We were selling some weekends 40, 50 cars.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it was crazy times.
And where are those times now? Because we were talking about before we went on the air, everything is on the phone now, or on the iPad or whatever. And it is convenient if you're looking for a 2010 Ford F-150 and just say, Siri, let me see a 2000 F-150, Ford. In the
Not entertaining, though.
No, that's right. Thank you, Ivan. I agree. And she doesn't tell jokes or anything,
No, absolutely
not as entertaining as we were.
I tell you what, it was really unbelievable. And you guys would prepare, whatever the thing was going to be. I mean, I remember one time it was the Final Four or whatever, the Sweet 16, and then you guys had a basketball hoop out there, and we're doing some fun things there. Of course, you superstar here in this one.
I just courtailed off of him. He set it up, and I just went along with it. So I didn't have a script. So
I know you're good ad-libber.
I just winged it right from his shoulder. That's all.
We had no rules back then. We just kept making up stuff as we went along. There was a scene where we were doing a construction sale, and so I would be there talking about some automobile, and Angelo would come across the screen carrying a long piece of lumber. And then you see the lumber go across, and you see Angelo carrying the second part of the lumber. He was carrying both ends of it. And then he had it on his shoulder, and he's swinging it around like the Abbott and Costello or the Three Stooges scene. And people were ducking. Somebody, I think, got whacked on the head. It was dangerous back then. We didn't have any protocols, so people got hurt off of those skits.
It was really so much fun to see. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Gary Fisher, who was the son-in-law to Bob Novick, and he was also pretty good and funny. And
he was involved.
You know what? When you take that group with you two and he, and I'm sure there were some others that I'm not thinking about, but you all had such great personalities, and you being the manager of it, you could let them do what they wanted, and you just like almost anything went. And the wilder it was, the more people enjoyed it.
Yeah, we carried it through to when we came to work with the Lilliston family. We were at the Country Store in Elmer, which was the greatest little Ford dealership, three streets off the highway, and we came to know Sally Starr.
Yes, we did.
So Sally started doing commercials with us, and one of the best skits that we did was a chili cook-off. I don't know if you remember that, Jim. It was unbelievable. We're like talking with Sally, and we're like thinking well, I don't know if she's not really prepared. I don't know if she's really ready for it. The camera turned on, and it was like somebody hit a switch. It was the total professional actress that she always was. It was incredible. So Angelo makes up the story that he imported all these special beans from Hormelians, and he's cooking away through the whole commercial that we're doing. You see him signs, tasting. She's over there testing them. And then the camera kind of flips around, and you see three open chili cans from. He just opened up cans of chili. It was no special beans.
Well, the greatest compliment we got was from Sally. Is when we were doing it, we carried little cards in our hand, and Ivan and I went on in this thing, and like for 5 minutes, and I came off, and she said, "Wow, let me see that," and I showed her, and she said, "Where's your words?"
Yeah.
I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "You're out there for 5-6 minutes, and all you have is numbers." I said, "Yeah." She said, "Boy, you guys are good." She was super impressed, but like Ivan said, she snapped right into it. She was giddy on the side. Put her in front of that camera, and boy, she was right there. But yeah, she drew how many people that day?
The showroom was full. There was a waiting line down all the way down Broad Street, all the way to the Main Street in Elmer. There was probably 500-600 people waiting to see her.
Yeah, she was really popular.
Yeah, they had brought stuff to sign. She was signing all day long.
That's nice.
Oh yeah, it was great. Great times.
Jim, if you think about it, you really were the prequel to the iPhone. I mean, the reason it was so successful for so many years, is people wanted to see the cars.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
would bring a car up one by one. The camera would show the car, show the inside of it. We would be talking about the year, the make, the model, how much the car was on sale for, which is exactly the same thing that customers do now, only they do it on their iPhone. You were doing it 30 years before any of those things were even thought about it. That's why people came to the store, because back then you had a little picture in the newspaper, or you came to the store. You know, they had a way of finally looking at a car inside, outside, finding out what the make, model, how much it was on sale for, how many miles with it, without leaving their house, which is exactly what they do now.
Yeah,
They use
that's
their
true.
iPhone instead of the
iPad. Yeah.
funny TV commercials that we did back then.
In fact, speaking of those people, Garrett Suey, you guys remember him, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
He was our cameraman. He said, infomercial. Okay, here, infomercial innovators is what he was saying. Yeah, it was. That's for sure.
He's very lucky he survived some of the film shoots. Yeah. We had him shooting I don't even know what road it was. It was probably would have got ticketed beyond belief, the cars impounded. But we set up a drag race between a Geo Metro and a Chevrolet Z28 Camaro, and he
Yes,
was at
we
the
did.
starting line with his camera as the cars took off.
Yes, we did.
We had him in a bucket truck one time at the top of it. We had him at the rodeo with livestock. He always did a good job shooting.
He did.
And now I know why he won't come back and work for me. No, he's going well. He's in charge of building maintenance at the courthouse in Bridgeton, and the good thing is he's got some super kids that are great athletes. So he's going with soccer. His son is a soccer goalie from Millville and does very, very well. But talking about a great guy,
Great
really
guy.
super personality, and really enjoyed having him work for me. And boy, it was interesting when you think about it. Every weekend we would have a car show on, so business was good for us. It was good for the car dealers. And boy, as you mentioned, Ivan, the iPhones and things like that have just changed it all. You just, boom, you go in and say, "Hey Siri, I want to see a such and such," and pops up and it shows you where it is, what location, price, and all that type of stuff. Now, you probably have in your place an IT person or somebody that puts your cars on the line.
We have a company that puts them up onto the line, onto the website, and then they're fed out through all the spider webs of the internet,
Social
so
media.
that they reach different platforms and different people searching. And then we have a whole department that fields those inquiries on those cars when those leads come into the dealership.
I see. That's where it gets interesting. But Angelo, you love people.
Yes.
I mean, isn't this one of the nicest businesses? It fits your personality.
It has.
Yeah.
I've been with Ivan for 35 years.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
Started off a long time ago. I remember he wouldn't buy shoes from me. I started in the shoe business.
Did you? I thought
Well,
you made
in the car business first, then I went to shoes.
Oh, I
and the
thought you
story
did
was,
deli.
yeah, I had the deli. My wife ran that.
Okay.
I wasn't allowed near the deli.
Okay,
My
well, I
wife ran the
understand that's
deli.
why I was successful. Now we know why I was so successful.
Very successful.
What's
Very
your wife's name?
successful. Rena.
Rena. Okay,
Yeah.
Rena, good job.
Yeah, she's excellent job. And of course, then with Michael, we had the restaurant for 4 years.
Oh, that's right. I was over there.
yeah,
Very
we did
nice.
that. We
Yeah.
shot with you guys.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly. That was great.
Yeah. So but where I met Ivan was I was selling ladies' shoes, men's, but mostly ladies' shoes.
And why would you go see Ivan? For
Ivan
some
came to
ladies'
see
shoes?
me.
Okay.
Excuse me, and he wanted to buy a Bostonians. Okay.
Yeah, nice shoes.
And he wanted a discount, and my boss wouldn't give him a discount. So he left the store. His finance manager, Jim Grando, said, "Listen, why don't you come up and see us so you can get a real job?" So I went up to
I
see
see.
Ivan and interviewed with him, and that was it. I've been with him ever since.
Oh, that's super.
Yeah.
I remember.
You're
Jim.
close, Angelo. You forgot one part. It wasn't the shoes. I was going to buy the shoes anyways because his boss would give me a discount. I said, okay, just give me some shoe polish.
Oh, that.
I said, just some shoe polish and I'll buy the shoes. And the guy said, I'm not giving you shoe polish.
Oh my goodness.
So I said, okay, so I left.
He left.
Jeez. I guess
Yeah,
I
he-
shouldn't ask who that creep was.
Yeah, he wasn't very nice. He didn't. I said, but it turned out good.
I got to tell you, this. Speaking of shoes, Brian Lankin, the only man left in all South Jersey that he runs Al's Shoes on Landis Avenue in Vineland. And if you mention Quinn Broadcasting, you get $5 off, 25, or and $100, $10 off 100. So you get 10% discount if you say you saw it on Quinn Broadcasting.
Good,
But
beautiful.
he is he's the only real shoe store.
Left.
Certainly in Cumberland County. I mean, I'm
Yeah, I
sure
don't know of
growing
another
up
one.
in Bridgeton, you knew the ones, and in Millville, I knew the ones. No place except for his. And I went in there, and all this time, I was feeding my podiatrist money for corn and something, on my feet. I was wearing the wrong size shoes. I go in and see him. He goes, "Oh, no, you're 11, you're 10 and a half, whatever." And since then, I haven't had to go to the foot doctor. And the shoes are great. And
Hey.
it is. We were spoiled. We had personalization, back those
Don't have
days.
any of that now.
No, but I'm glad you got out of the shoe business.
Yes.
So
It was a good move for both of us. He's
Yes.
sold cars for 35 years and thousands of customers over the years that are come back to see him time and time again.
yeah. Well, I bet you a lot of it is repeat customers. Isn't
Oh,
it?
yeah, that's
Is
the only
it?
way you're going to make it in the business is repeat customers. And over the years, a lot of customers have been very, very loyal to me. And I've been very grateful for that.
Who do you think next to you is the best salesperson? Or you can name
besides
two or
me?
three. Yeah, I mean,
Besides you, Angelo. Obviously,
I
besides
said, who's best under you or besides you?
Well, we can't forget about our boy. You're talking about it at Lilliston.
Yes,
It would
yeah.
be Jimmy Fry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
His wife was a sweetheart. I worked with her.
Listen,
to this day
Jimmy,
today.
we crossed paths all the way back through the eras of Pepe and all that stuff. But he's his following. He's 35 years there.
yeah, I think that or longer. He is
Generation after generation after generation, just keep coming back.
Yeah, he has built probably one of the biggest loyal customer base that the Lilliston family have. It's been the perfect match for him. The Lilliston family and the products that we sell, and Jimmy with the way he stays in contact with his customers. He services accounts not only when he sells them the car, all the way through, picks up the cars. A lot of he picks up the cars for service, brings them in, takes them back to him, and he's on the second and third generation of some of these families
Right.
now.
Yeah, great.
Just like Angelo is. It's
Yeah,
the
same way.
Yeah,
Yeah. But that's the only way you're going to make it in the business today, because like Ivan was saying, it is a sit down and let me get you a vehicle and you'll see it in 4 to 6 months.
yeah.
So normally we would carry on our lot, and Ivan can testify, anywhere between 80 and 150 F-150s.
Yeah.
We have 5.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a different world.
It's a different world.
With the beginning of COVID and the microchip shortage, and the inventories went from 250 cars in stock at any given time. So you can pretty much come in, find a car that you like, and you could drive one of those fine Lilliston automobiles home. It's just not the way the business is anymore. And I don't know that's going to go back anytime soon. And in some ways, it is better consumer experience. I mean, face it, if you didn't have to settle for maybe you had everything right, but the interior is the wrong color, or maybe it had options that I ordered for the car for stock that you didn't really want or didn't really need, but everything else worked, so you bought the car that was in stock and ready to take delivery the same day, so you paid extra money for options you didn't need. And when you order vehicles, you're not paying any of these market adjustments. I mean, nobody likes the market adjustments, but if there's a situation where you have 10% of the inventory you had 2 years ago,
Right.
and the demand is 3 times that, we don't have nearly enough vehicles on hand to fill the supply at any given time. So we encourage every single customer to come in and custom build their automobile so you get just the options you want, the colors that you want, the equipment that you want. And the idea, when the car comes in, if you don't absolutely love your car and you don't absolutely love your deal, you can walk away and we'll put it back in stock. And
Somebody will buy it tomorrow.
right, exactly. Somebody buy it tomorrow. But at least the customer has
Yes, exactly.
the option of knowing what their trade's worth. It could be 3-4 months down the road. They know what the incentives are from the manufacturer. They see the car. They don't have to worry about it not being the right car. It's exactly what they want. And we find that the customer experience is far greater than walking around on a new car lot, a day like today when it's 29 degrees, trying to find a car that you may or may not like. It may or may not have the things that you want, and you settle for what's there because it's there. But getting exactly what you want, when you want it, and making sure that the deal is correct when the car comes in, and then decided to make a purchase is by far the better experience.
I got to ask you something, though. When it comes to colors of cars, why are all of them white, black, and silver? Anybody you ever look at that? I mean, honestly, my whole family, except my son had a dark blue one, but it was older. They're all white. We have 3 white SUVs. My ex has a white SUV from Lilliston, and I have a white SUV from Ron Rossi, and my daughter has a white SUV from Ron Rossi. I mean, it really is prevalent. That's
the top colors.
There are some great colors out there right now from Ford Motor Company. Some of these new cactus colors, Area 51 colors. After all these years, white is still going to be number 1. I think black is a number 2, and then silver is getting farther and farther distance from the first 2. But white and black are still the dominant colors, no matter how great these other colors are. I mean, the Area 51, the Alto Blue, very cool colors. Really, they look well on a number of different Ford products. I'm driving a white vehicle. I've always driven a white vehicle. That's my color of choice as well. And a lot of consumers feel exactly the same way. White is always going to be the dominant color.
And when people talk about it, white doesn't show the dirt as much as black, really. I've had white, and I really don't find it shows much dirt on it at all. And it is funny, though, when you think about it. My first vehicle ever was it was brand new, too, 1963 Chevy Impala. You'll remember this, 2-door, sharp. And that was my first. My car, and it's white. And I'm sure I had many whites in between as well. You know what my first vehicle cost in 1963? You weren't even born then. But
it was just barely.
Yeah, you were a little boy. But it was $2,600. And I bought it in Pensgrove. Somebody I knew I don't know what the name of the dealership was that time, but that's what it was, $2,300. In fact, my car insurance was $30 a month, and my car payment was $33 a month.
Now, if you had that same car today, it could be worth $60,000, $80,000.
Yes, for sure.
All those old big black
cars. Now, what was your
cars.
first car?
My first car was a 55 Chevy.
Oh, God, I loved them.
Yep. 2-door.
They were sharp.
327.
Yeah, I had the 287.
Yeah, mine was a 327.
You were zooming down the road.
Yeah, man.
How about yours, Adam?
I had a 1967 F-150 with a 352 and a 3-speed on the column. Very nice truck.
We're talking with 2 of the best car representatives you'll ever find, Ivan Nelson, General Manager of Lilliston Ford, and the supreme salesperson of Lilliston and all over South Jersey. And Angelo DeRose will be back with Ivan and Angelo right after these messages.
At Mintz Insurance, we're proud to have been serving our customers for nearly 80 years, offering 30 different insurance products for your auto, home, and business. And to help ensure that you're getting the best rates possible, we give you up to 3 quotes for every policy, so you can choose what's right for you. At Mintz, we're part of the community. Local representatives supporting events and proud of it. It's part of who we are. Mintz Insurance. Call today and find out how we can help you save on insurance, or visit us at mintzinsurance.com.
When you want delicious food made from scratch soups and locally sourced ingredients, you head to Larry's 2 on Main Road in Vineland, New Jersey. Family owned and operated, Larry's 2 boasts one of the area's only salad bars with a great selection of fresh vegetables, rolls, dressings, and more. In their cafe, enjoy a piping hot cup of your favorite beverage made by one of their skilled baristas. Their complimentary Wi-Fi allows Larry's 2 to be the meeting destination with a friend or small group. They also offer banquet rooms that can accommodate 10 to 120 guests for any occasion. Open from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. on Friday and Saturday. Call Larry's 2 today at 856-692-9001. Larry's 2 Restaurant and Cafe, located at 907 North Main Road in Vineland, New Jersey.
I'm Brian Lankin, third generation business owner, Al Shoes. Been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off, $25, and $10 off $100 if you mention that you've seen this.
Ivan Nelson here at Lilliston Ford. The Lilliston family knows that you can buy a car anywhere. And we've known that for 35 years selling cars in Cumberland County and South Jersey. We know that we have to do it a little bit better and give you some advantages so that you buy with comfort, quality, and security here at Lilliston Ford. Take a look at the Lilliston Advantage. First of all, you're never going to make a mistake in buying a car here, because if you don't love that car, bring it back and exchange it for something different. We want to make sure that you buy the perfect car for you and your family. You're in and out in 90 minutes. Your time is valuable. We know that. We want to get you into our dealership, find the car that you need for your family, and get you out. And our goal is to do that in 90 minutes. As much technology as our new Fords have, if there's something you don't understand and that technology is not working for you, bring it back anytime, lifetime, and one of our sales consultants will go over that technology with you. Complimentary 2-year free scheduled maintenance on every new vehicle bought here. Loaner cars, not old cars, brand new Ford products for you to use while your vehicle is being serviced at no cost. Roadside assistance. If you break down on the side of the road, Ford will tow you back in to Lilliston Ford. We'll get your vehicle back on the road as quick as we possibly can. Complimentary lifetime inspection, alignments. Every time you bring your vehicle into our store, we will check your alignment, check your brakes, check your battery, all at no cost. It's all complimentary here at Lilliston Ford.
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. My special guests are Angelo DeRose, who is the supersonic man at Lilliston and has 35 years experience with Lilliston organization, I guess, right? Total, yeah. And, of course, you know, Ivan Nelson is the general manager. I think what I've always liked about the two of these guys is they have a great sense of humor. They don't take life too serious. So I got to ask you, we talked about the colors of vehicles and what, white is number one and all that stuff. Is there any car company other than Lilliston and Ford that sells more pickup trucks? People love the Ford pickup trucks, don't they? The 150.
Oh, no, the F-150 has dominated for 45 years as the number one selling truck, and there's a lot of good reasons for it. It is a absolutely superior truck in every way possible. They came out with a new set of EcoBoost engines a few years back, and they still offer the 5.0. The 5.0 is still available on F-150, and there's a lot of those buyers that still love that V8 power. But the EcoBoost give you more horsepower, more torque, more ability to tow, and at a better fuel economy than all the previous engines that used to be manufactured by Ford Motor Company. It has been just a dominant pickup. Even up to the point last year where they announced their all-new electric version, electrified F-150 called the Lightning. Now, the lighting has been an incredible success story. We are probably delivered 30, 35 at this point of lightings. When we have a client and we're taking them for a road test in the car, we have to warn the customer, when you go to pass and you're coming up on another vehicle, your curve of acceleration is far greater in a Lightning than anything you've ever driven before. And I don't even, it's Jim, I'm telling you, it's scary fast.
Jeez.
It is a super quiet. We're getting some of the ranges now for some of the customer. They're exceeding the 300-mile range on the extended battery. So you got a vehicle that's super fast. The acceleration is unbelievable. It has more technology than any F-150 that's ever been built before, and you're getting a 300-mile range on it. That's a great pickup truck.
Wow, and with gasoline, $3.75, that certainly sounds like a good economical deal.
Yes, they have the 50-amp charger. They're charging in 2 or 3 hours now.
Yeah, 3 hours
for a full charge.
For a full charge on those.
Good. And most customers aren't driving 300 miles, 200 miles. They're putting less than 100 miles a day on their daily commute. And when they do want to take a trip, if you're recharging after 50%, you're going to get that back in about 30 minutes.
Okay, gotcha.
And just time to take a break and get something to drink, and your vehicle will be charged up. And there's going to be a national network of
charging stations.
Yeah, all the Ford dealers are going to be part of this this national charging station where you'll look on your phone, you'll know where the next charging station is. You'll go there, it automatically charges to your Ford Pass account, and then you're on your way back on your trip.
That's nice. That is great.
It's where the world's coming. I mean, Ford is definitely the leader in the domestics, and they soon will be the leader in all manufactured electric vehicles.
Wow.
Yeah, it's. I was out in Las Vegas, and we heard Jim Farley kind of outlay Ford's plan. They've invested $50 billion in electric vehicles. So they've hired the world's top engineers to design. They're designing right now the next generation of Ford Motor Company's electric drive vehicles. We haven't seen them yet. We have only gotten hints of what the designs. It's going to be a whole new generation of electric vehicles. They're going to be produced in a brand new factory. It's the first new factory from the ground up in, I think, 85 years for Ford Motor Company, and that's in, I believe that's in Tennessee. They're in the process right now of building a battery plant. That's going to be the largest battery plant in the country, and that's going to be in Kentucky. So they both come online in 2025. So by 2027, Ford Motor Company plans to sell 2 million electrified vehicles per year.
Wow.
To give you an idea now, it's probably in the neighborhood of 40 to 50,000 a year. So you're going to go from 50,000 to 2 million in 3 to 4 years.
Wow.
And the next generation of batteries, they're looking for a less than half-hour charge, and they're looking for a 500-mile range. If you can accomplish those two things in an automobile, you have a winner. Absolutely.
Wow.
Winner, chicken
and they're fun to drive.
It's amazing.
You get in a Mach-E and take that car for a ride, it is like driving the ultimate little sports car that doesn't make a single noise.
That must be weird, huh? Just quiet.
It's a fun car to ride.
Wow. Well, I have to tell you, my father had his own trucking company. He had 5 trucks. Every one of those trucks was a Ford truck. His car was a Ford car. And he was a little disappointed, I think, with me when I went and bought a Chevy car. I said, Dad, I like the style. But he had a 59 Ford, which was pretty sharp looking, too.
Wow.
As well.
Nice.
I got the 63 Chevy. Yeah. So, now, where did you start out, Ivan, in the automobile business?
I started out washing cars for a small Chrysler dealership in Swedesburg called Kingsway Motor Company.
Okay,
I was 16 years old.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then when did you move up to
I got a
sales?
promotion to, I wouldn't never call myself a technician. I called myself a grease boy, as we called them back in the day. It was somebody that did the oil changes and tire rotations and things like light repairs. I was 17. I became a parts manager at 18, a service manager before I turned 19. I got into sales briefly by age 20. By age before age 21, I was a business manager. Before 23, I was a general manager.
My God, you're amazing. No
Just
wonder
got
I
lucky
was-
to be in the right place at the right time.
Wow. You really, I don't think anybody could match what you did.
So all you got to do is you just have to ask to fill in when somebody either retires or tries to move on to another spot.
Keep saying,
I
"I
just
can do
raise my
that."
hand and I'll help out until you find somebody. Just keep doing that and you'll find your way moving to the top.
So, okay, how long did you stay there?
I was in Bridgeton for
No, but I thought this was in.
no. This was that
transition?
transpired to 3 different stores. Yeah.
Oh, so
I started with the Kingsway Motors, and there was a Pontiac dealer in Vineland at the time, and then over to the Auto Mall in Bridgeton. I was there that was my first general manager's job.
Oh, okay.
I've worked for the Lilliston family, have been just the greatest family to work for the last coming up on 25 years as a general manager.
Was that Bertoli Pontiac? Vineland?
It was Gentili.
Oh, okay.
Ron
That's right.
Gentili.
I do remember that, yeah. Yeah, well, I'm older. I go back to the.
You go back further than that, right? Another
Bertoli
generation back.
Pontiac, yeah. That's,
But I went to work in I think 1998 for Brent over at the Country Store. And, in 2008, we merged the 2 stores
right.
into the one, and Brent came across, and we were all been working on the Vineland store ever since.
Mm-hmm. And Ivan, you were there.
I was with him at Country.
So the first time you.
Oh, well, we met again. Novix was where I started out.
Okay.
All over some shoe polish.
Yeah, over shoe
Oh,
polish.
that's right. I forgot. Yeah. That cheap shoe guy. Jeez.
Well, I thank him for that.
That's right.
Every
Yeah,
day.
you'd still be
But
selling
I'd still be
shoes.
selling ladies' shoes. Yeah, no, but that was a great move for me, and we piggybacked together for the last 35 years. So wherever he went, I packed up, and went with him. So we ended up here. We are with the Lilliston.
Is he always this nice?
Always this nice.
Yeah. Honestly, and
Now,
of course, you're always funny.
Now, I know, but listen, I work for other general managers. He's the best.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you that.
I have to tell you, honestly, of all the people that I dealt with as general managers, Ivan was the nicest person to deal with, easygoing, and anything you could help you, he'd help. And you remember those things, you really do.
Sure you do.
And I know that it's a great place to go, good reputation, and that's something that you can't put a dollar value on. You know what I mean? It's Jim Fry and you guys and caring about your customers.
Right.
We've had a really good, loyal staff that has been with the family for a lot of years. Jimmy is certainly one of them. We've got technicians that have been there for that long or longer. We were able to do what we do because we work for a great family, and this family is coming up on. This is their 40th year of being, in Cumberland County. With their 2 stores. Of course, we have the Chrysler.
Yes, Chrysler Dodge.
Ram Jeep store in Millville that's been just as successful over the years. They have a lot of great products. Not quite as good as the Ford products, Jim, but they are. No, honestly, the Jeep products are just as hot as they possibly can be.
Yeah.
The Ram has overtaken General Motors as a number 2 vehicle. So the Lilliston family have the number 1 selling truck and the number 2 truck in the world, and both the Ram and the F-150, and they really dominate South Jersey in truck sales.
Boy, my brother-in-law has a Ram. I'm going, wow, that is sharp. His pickup says beautiful. We're talking with Ivan Nelson and Angelo DeRose from the great Lilliston Ford organization on North Elsie Drive in Vineland. We'll be back to talk more right after these messages.
Ivan Nelson here at Lilliston Ford. Now, Lilliston family knows that you can buy a car anywhere. And we've known that for 35 years selling cars in Cumberland County and South Jersey. We know that we have to do it a little bit better and give you some advantages so that you buy with comfort, quality, and security here at Lilliston Ford. Take a look at the Lilliston Advantage. First of all, you're never going to make a mistake in buying a car here, because if you don't love that car, bring it back and exchange it for something different. We want to make sure that you buy the perfect car for you and your family. You're in and out in 90 minutes. Your time is valuable. We know that. We want to get you into our dealership, find the car that you need for your family, and get you out. And our goal is to do that in 90 minutes. As much technology as our new Fords have, if there's something you don't understand and that technology is not working for you, Bring it back anytime, lifetime, and one of our sales consultants will go over that technology with you. Complimentary 2-year free scheduled maintenance on every new vehicle bought here. Loaner cars, not old cars, brand new Ford products for you to use while your vehicle is being serviced at no cost. Roadside assistance. If you break down on the side of the road, Ford will tow you back in to Lilliston Ford. We'll get your vehicle back on the road as quick as we possibly can. Complimentary lifetime inspection. Alignments. Every time you bring your vehicle into our store, we will check your alignment, check your brakes, check your battery, all at no cost. It's all complimentary here at Lilliston Ford.
More than a century ago, General Tire was born, right here in America. Since then, we've made a name for ourselves by making tires you can depend on. Tires built to handle any road this country can throw at them, and relied on by every kind of driver. So you know that no matter where life takes you, with General Tire, anywhere is possible.
In South Jersey, we do things our own way. We say things out loud, face things head on, and never back down. And that's how we fight cancer. With the most advanced diagnostics, leading-edge technology, and a team of doctors who know how to treat your cancer. And most importantly, we do it right here at the Frank and Edith Scarpa Cancer Center, Vineland, and the Leading Edge Cancer Center, Mullica Hill.
I'm Brian Lankin, third-generation business owner. Al Shoes, been at the same location since 1961, our 61st year. We specialize in work boots, work shoes, orthopedic shoes, baby walking shoes, and school shoes. We go up to a men's 17 and a woman's 13. It's $5 off, $25, and $10 off 100 if you mention that you've seen this.
Hi,
Welcome back to Around South Jersey. Jim Quinn along with Ivan Nelson and Angelo DeRose from the Lilliston organization. And, you know, we have been talking a lot about the Lilliston Ford. And you did mention, Ivan, that the Lilliston family also has the Chrysler and Jeep. And I find Jeeps to be pretty sharp-looking vehicles. You know, and the Ram is phenomenal looking truck too.
Yeah, the Grand Cherokee finally came out with a third row seat, and they came out with a vehicle of the similar class to the Expedition, and that's a new Grand Wagoneer, which is gorgeous. Yeah, absolutely gorgeous vehicle. Stacy Lilliston was driving a Grand Wagoneer today, and you just look at the lines. Somebody knew what they're doing with a pencil when they drew the lines of that vehicle.
That's neat.
Yeah, definitely a world-class SUV.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, I don't know, Angelo, what you drive, but I've been driving an SUV now in fact, even when I was over and buying from Novik, I would get the SUV. What was it? What was that? Back in the 60s, or 80s, rather.
The Blazers?
No, it wasn't the Blazer. It was a GMC, whatever that was, but I had the GMC SUV. And, yeah, I liked that, and, of course, they were good to me as well. And, the product was very good.
You can't forget about our Bronco. We haven't told anybody about the new Bronco. That's phenomenal.
I heard that's really sharp.
Very sharp.
It has been, there's a Bronco family, actually. There is a small four-door Bronco called the Bronco Sport that literally sells as fast as they arrive. Usually we pre-sell them before, but there's some more volume of it. So if somebody wants to get into a Bronco Sport, we actually have 3 or 4 in that are not sold that are due in probably the next week to 10 days. So just give Angelo a call, and you can work a nice deal on a new Bronco Sport. Full-size ones where there's a full-size two-door and a full-size four-door, and they were on a reservation basis beginning back in July. Of 2020. So,
oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they're about to catch up with some of those early reservations. We do have, by some luck of fate, a Bronco Raptor that the customer has moved and now is unable to take delivery of. That's due at the end of February. That is probably the hottest vehicle in the entire country right now.
Wow.
We were originally supposed to get one. We were awarded a second one because of the volume that we're now able to do for Ford Motor Company, and the customer can't take delivery. So it's going to be available to some lucky customer in the hopefully in the Vineland area, but it's a Bronco Raptor. So it's the high-performance motor, the Fox suspension, the large tires and wheels, and it's just an absolutely cool vehicle. It's in white, matter of fact, as the whole colors, right?
Don't tell Jim it's white.
Oh my gosh. That's great. That is fantastic. Do you have any brand new cars on the lot for sale, or all of them pre-ordered?
We always have something in stock. We typically are running about 20 to 25 cars, and they're constantly being rotated. The cars are being sold, new ones are coming in, but it's about 20% of the sales are now coming from stock units,
Right.
and 80% are coming from custom orders for customers. And it's really a complete turnaround. It used to be 20% ordered, and 80% of customers took them from stock. So we always have something coming in. There's always something in the pipeline.
Yep.
And we have the ability to pull off what would be window stickers to go equipment and options that the cars have. You make your reservation on a vehicle that's inbound, and when it comes in, at that point, you make your final decision if this is the car you want to buy.
Mm-hmm.
After you see it, drive it, and tell me whether you love it or not. If you love it, take it home. If you don't, then there's really no harm. You just reserve the vehicle, you get your small deposit. We usually take an $89 deposit on any custom order or any inbound.
That's all?
That's it.
Jeez, that's reasonable.
That's it.
Wow, I can afford that.
And the only reason we do that is because we have to upload these documents to Ford Motor Company to say this is a real buyer. You know, they've signed a sales agreement and given us a cash deposit, so please build this car or please reserve this car for them. So the incentives that are on that car at the time they reserve it or the time they order it carries through unless the incentives are bigger or better at delivery. At that point, they get the better incentives.
I see. Now, if I were to come in tomorrow and see Angelo and say, I want to order that Bronco that you talked about, how long would it take for that to become a reality? How many months do you think?
The Bronco is one of the vehicles that's probably been pre-sold for at least a year and a half.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So all right, let's make it realistic. I want an F-150 Ford pickup. About how long would that take?
You would probably have it scheduled for production in January and probably have it arrive in late February or early March.
Well, that's not bad.
Awarded the biggest allocation of F-150s that we've seen since pre-COVID, and that goes back to February 2020. We have 42 F-150s to build in January's production for
Wow.
work. That's the most I've seen in many a day.
That's fantastic.
So an F-150 is definitely a bright area for Lilliston Ford and Ford Motor Company, that they finally got the production and the components to start building these in quantity again. Most of the models are running 3 months. If it's a very high-end model that requires, in some cases, 1,500 microchips, that's the vehicles that we're seeing taking a little bit longer. Some of them going into 6 or 7 months. But, you know, an F-150, that's an average equipped F-150. We're going to see it being built in January and arrive in our dealership early March or late February.
That's fantastic. That's not bad. Like 4 to 6 weeks in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, 8
Couple months, yeah.
Eight to
Couple
10
months. It's
But that's still, you know. Plus, the good things you point out is you get exactly what you want. You're not paying for interior you don't like or any other extras that you don't necessarily want.
Build it the way you want.
Yeah, which is wonderful to be able to do. The color you want, we know is going to be white, so just pick that up and go with it. But boy, it's. I bet you never thought in all your years you've been in the automobile business that you'd see the day where you're ordering cars and you have to wait till they're produced. You know?
No, it definitely was the exception. I mean, there were always some customers that, you know, that's the way they've always bought a car. They've always ordered it and waited for it. The bulk of customers came in, looked through our typically 250, 300 vehicle inventory, and found something they like and took it home on the same day. It was a process where they would come in at one point, 2 hours later, they had made the purchase, and they were driving their brand new vehicle home. We always stock, Lilliston's always stock between 80 and 110 F-150s, another 30 or 40 Super Duties, and we had them available at literally any time of the year. And now the availability of in-stock units is typically 3 to 4 to 5 F-150s. And they're constantly being rotated in and rotated out. The vehicles come in, get sold, and we have trucks arriving almost daily. It's just not the same volume as it was before.
Now, something we haven't talked about is my buddy Marty Francis and the used car department. Now, obviously, when these new ones are ordered, I suspect you get a lot of good used cars traded on the ones that they're ordering, the people that come in.
Yeah, it's been a kind of a crazy used car market over the last couple of years. In all my career, going back 44 years, I've never seen the used car values rise as quickly and stay there for as long a period of time, so that in some cases, F-150 sales, Super Duty sales, Bronco sales, we are trading these vehicles back in for more than we bought them from Ford Motor Company from a year later.
Wow.
And I've never seen that happen before. The Ford Transit van are at probably 130% of what they were sold for brand new.
Wow.
It's such a law of supply and demand. There's the demand for these vans. They're needed for the people to operate their business, and there's a very, very low day supply. So we had a glass company. We do a regional glass business where we have transit vans, and they're converted to have like plate glass carriers. There's glass racks on the side of them.
Yeah.
And we're the supplier, all the way down to Florida.
Jeez.
They buy their glass vans from us. And we can't get them fast enough. So some of these vans that typically are $45,000 van are selling a year or two old for $70,000.
Wow.
It's that kind of differences. Now, not all used cars do that, but I can tell you that at any given point in time, the used car market is higher right now than it's been in any other previous 50-year period. Customers are trading out of their leases, and instead of having an option of either purchasing the vehicle or walking away, they're able to create equity in a lease. So instead of getting nothing for your trade-in on a lease, we are giving customers equity towards their next purchase on their leased vehicle. So the values are high enough so that the guaranteed values are not as high as what the cars are actually worth. And it's a great situation for a lease customer. So if you're leasing a vehicle right now, you don't have to wait till the end of the lease. Come into Lilliston Ford. We'll be able to trade you out early, and you will use that equity towards your next purchase.
Yeah, I had that happen too. That was wonderful. The lease was coming due, and got it purchased out about $15,000 more than what I expected, what the vehicle sold for. And again, I guess do you have a lot of used cars?
Marty does our used car manager, Marty Francis, has done an unbelievable job keeping used vehicles on our lot for our customers. They are a great alternative to new cars. We probably stock at any given time at least 10 to 15 used F-150s.
Wow. We
have used Explorers, Escapes. We have literally about at any given time, there's about $5 million worth of used cars on our lots available for sale at Lilliston Ford. So
that's great.
We have literally something for every budget, every price range. It's it's definitely the backbone of our dealership during these COVID times. Used cars are great value. A lot of them are certified. A lot of them are 1 or 2 year old cars. And then we go back sometimes. Sometimes we find a really nice car that has 100,000 miles, but it's a very good price range cars for customers, and we keep them. We put them through the Lilliston Advantage program so that they're inspected, they're brought up to all the services, so the vehicles are ready to be driven, ready to be owned by a customer right here in Vineland.
That is super. Well, they got everything. You can order your car. You can get a wonderful used car. You can get the Lilliston Advantage, which takes care of everything. You really don't have to worry about once you buy the vehicle. Everything is covered under it. And if you're nice, Angelo will tell you a joke. Right? So, Angelo, did you go to Bridgeton High School? Did you grow up in Bridgeton?
I didn't grow up in Bridgeton. I came from Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
I graduated from Bridgeton High School in '67.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have my cousin Bob film me as a teacher?
I sure did. I didn't know he was your cousin. How about that?
Yeah.
It's a small world.
It is, isn't it? one of my favorite restaurants is Bob's Hangout. Is the Town Tavern in Bridgeton.
I love it.
And
He's there.
Yeah, he's there all the time. I go there occasionally and say hello. We get to see each other.
Now that I know that, I'll say hi to him
yeah,
when I'm in there.
please do. Yeah,
We frequent there a lot. So.
Yeah. In fact, I know he does. And I saw Stevie Bacon. He used to work for you guys, right?
I know Stevie very well.
You were in
He was
before
the.
he went to Novick, right?
Yeah, he was after we left there.
That's
but
right.
he is a super nice guy.
Yeah.
He was actually in my office with John Melchior on a fundraiser for the Italian Club in Bridgeton.
I get hit up for that too.
Yeah, they're great guys.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they really are good people. And that's the one thing too. I mean, as we talked about, I really liked Gary, Wendy Fisher a lot. They were really great people to talk with at Novick, and a great personality. And Gary was pretty creative too, had that good sense of humor and things that he's done. But how many years now? 35 you've been at Lilliston?
I'm working on I'm in my 25th year.
25th year.
Yeah.
And how about you, Ash?
I'm 20.
20.
Yeah, it was 7 over at Country and then 14, just at 14
okay.
here.
I got you. That's right.
Yeah, he moved over before me.
So we haven't told, I mean, it's getting towards the end, we haven't told the big story that made action news with Angelo DeRose at J&C Auto Dealership.
Yeah, J&C Auto Sales.
John and Chicky.
Yeah, John and Chicky.
So tell everybody what happened.
Oh,
this is his famous line. Everybody
Talking about
gets
the
their,
horse?
Yeah, the horse, yeah.
Did commercials there, and of course, John came up with this idea that he wanted to have this horse, and I would, no problem, get on the horse, ride around the lot. Well, the lady that had the horse brings this horse in, and she was supposed to bring in a quarter horse. She brought this enormous
I remember
horse,
seeing it.
and I'm saying, I can't get up. I couldn't even get my foot into the stirrup. So, of course, I come on and I got a great idea. I run off, I get a step ladder, and it's the only way I could get up onto the saddle. And a friend of ours you were just talking about before was Kenny Kalansky. He calls me up, he says, "You got to be kidding me." He laughed so hard, he said he couldn't believe it. But this was an enormous horse. But yeah, we did a lot over there, too. Again, commercials brought people in. And we had a ball doing it.
Yeah,
we
Well,
really did.
Your son and I were talking about he got kidded about it at school and stuff. I saw your dad riding on a horse at J&C Auto. But there are the things we remember. It's like talking about.
I will
fun
tell you
things.
that it had personality to it.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
When we did a commercial, it was us. They saw us. And people knew it. They just were attracted to it. And the best one was Ivan came up with an idea: go fly a kite. And of course, I had the kite, and I made it so that it wouldn't go in the air, and it kept crashing to the ground. Long story short, we bandaged it all up and stuff, and I stuck it next to my desk. And a couple comes in on a Saturday, and we're swamped from the commercials. Thank God. We were busy. She goes, "There he is. That's the kite guy." So she sat down and she goes, "Sell me a car."
No kidding.
And I said, "Okay, I'll sell you a car. What do you want?" Well, we sold her a car. She said, "Now, can you take that car back?" So I go up to the tower and I said, "This lady's in a car from Vineland. She was driving their car." She turned to her husband and she said, "We didn't go see this guy that flew the kite." She drove from Vineland in their car. I won't mention any names.
Yeah, right.
Drove all the way to Novick. I sold her a car, and we had our lot guy take it back. But again, that's what we got. Wherever we went, people would say, "I know you." I mean,
Yeah,
it was
it's
that.
true. Yeah.
"I know you. You're on television. You're with Ivan." "Yeah, I know you." And that's what it was. And now it's not personal. It's they
that's
stick
true.
a phone in
Yeah,
your face,
right.
and
This
they
is
go,
what
"Give
I
me
want."
this one here." I go, "Okay." It's not as fun as it was.
No, that's for darn sure.
Yeah, it's an ever changing industry. I mean, what we do, and what we did in 2022 is definitely going to be different going into 2023.
Yeah.
We just pulled the trigger to become a certified elite electric vehicle dealer going forward 23 24. So
congratulations.
It's a really big deal for the Lilliston family, and we're our expectations is to sell 40 electric vehicles a month by 2025.
That's fantastic.
It's just crazy how the world is changing. And a lot of that's going to be digital. There's going to be customers that make their whole experience through the internet. Their entire purchase from start to finish will be internet. But there's still going to be people that want to deal with somebody like Angelo, somebody like myself. They need and want that personal experience. And that's why we maintain our sales staff and our leadership and our sales managers at the store, because that is not yet to be replaced by the computers. And I think there's several generations out there still that buying cars that want to come in, want to talk to somebody, want to get assistance in finding exactly the right car. And that's how we still do it when customers come into our showroom and they want us to find the right car for them. And we take that very seriously. We want our customers satisfied. We want them to love the car that they bought from Lilliston Ford.
Yep.
And we didn't mention your brother David too much, but I know he's part of that great Nelson family, and I was very impressed with him too. He's such a nice guy. He really is.
Yeah, David's been the general sales manager for just about as long as I've been there, and he is always trying to find a way to make a deal with one of our customers. He will keep at it until he finds a way to make a car affordable, to find the right car, to make sure the customer gets the right amount for his trade, and he pushes everybody around to make sure he gets his customers what they want. And he pushes me around. And I was,
you're his big brother,
older brother, right?
Yeah, come on, man.
He'll find a way to make a deal with you. So you've got a guy on your side when you come to the Lilliston Ford. David is a big proponent of finding the right car and making the right deal for the customers, because that's why they keep coming back generation after generation.
Mm-hmm. And what hours are you guys open now?
The service department opens up around 7:30, and they close at 5, and sales is open until 8, and we're open until 5 o'clock on Saturdays.
Yeah, because weren't you up until 9, most car dealers?
Yeah, that was the classic car dealer.
No. 7's better, but yeah.
No, I know. As a salesperson, I say 7's better too.
Yeah, we found really no difference in sales by getting our employees out of there at 8 o'clock, and they're home and still have something left of the evening.
Yeah, so I think Rossi's gone to 8 also. I
think both stores.
Yeah, it's just the way the trend is, and it works out good.
We didn't mention our Honda motorcycle. We still sell a ton of motorcycles in the Cumberland
County.
I
forgot about that.
Yeah, Michelle and Dave do a great job. They are a full-line Honda with ATVs, the sport bikes, the road bikes, the small off-road bikes, and they're typically in the top 2 or 3 for volume in the entire Philadelphia region.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Right here out of Vineland.
And it's economical having a motorcycle.
It is absolutely economical. Instead of getting a good fuel economy in some of these cars at 25 or 30, you're getting 50, 60 miles per gallon on a motorcycle. Plus, they're fun to sector ride around.
Yeah, that's true. Just be safe. Be careful.
Be safe. That's right. Absolutely right.
Well, guys, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you coming in, Ivan. It's good to see. I'll never not know who you are, because you never change whatsoever. Nor does Ivan either. Ivan, thank
you, Jim, very much for being on the show. It's been a great relationship over the last 30-some years.
30 years.
Absolutely,
yeah, going back in the day. Jim has been a driving force between finding customers to find the right cars, and his shows have definitely put the wheels of a lot of drivers together. With us, Angelo and I, and of course our great Lilliston family, and it's been a good run. We haven't been on the show, and we haven't been together behind a camera in I don't even know how many years. So it's been good.
Been a long time.
Yes, well, it's great to have both of you here today, and continued success with the Lilliston organization. And if you're looking for a car, Ford, of course you can go to Lilliston Ford, and for the Chrysler products, you could stop over at Lilliston Chrysler, Ram, Jeep, and all that kind of stuff. They're on 2nd Street in Millville. And, of course, Lilliston Ford is up on North Elsie Drive. In Vineland, great facilities, good people, as you can see, to deal with. They're honorable. They're going to be, and you have a lot of fun. And Angelo will have a joke for you, I promise you that. So
Absolutely will, no doubt.
be sure to stop in. Thank you, George Kachia, for producing the program tonight. Thank you all for watching us here on Channel 22, Facebook Live, and our YouTube channel. For Angelo and Ivan, I'm Jim. Have a nice night. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya. Good night.
This has been a QBC television production, in association with our partners and sponsors. QBC broadcasts on Comcast Cable Channel 22, and live streams its programming on Facebook and YouTube. All rights reserved by Quinn Media and QBC, programming that serves the South Jersey market.